So we're pulling up some logs out of the creek here. This was an ash tree that fell down probably, I don't know, a month ago, maybe even 2 months ago. And we're just using the 1948 or 49 Ford 8N with a Freeman loader on the front. We're just using it to drag some of these logs out of there, and a loader definitely makes things a lot easier. So I've got to say, this old tractor, it has some issues, and just like a lot of the old equipment does. And it needs a complete engine rebuild. The clutch, I think, is okay in it. If we're splitting it to put a newly machined down crankshaft, we're going to put in a brand new clutch and pressure plate and all sorts of stuff and bearings and seals and whatnot in there while we're in there. But this tractor's working pretty good as it is, and I've got to say, it's really nice having a tractor with a loader on it. Now, granted, it's not a four-wheel drive. It's not the latest and greatest. This tractor, if this was a 48, which I think if I remember correctly, it is a 48, that would put it at 70 years old this year, which is pretty cool to still be using a piece of equipment 70 years later. And what's nice is this tractor, there are parts available everywhere for it. You can buy fenders and tires, inner tubes, rims, centers, rims, front rims and tires, all sorts of parts for the motor, the points, the coil, ignition system, switches, gauges, clutch, pumps, and you name it. So this is what's nice with a tractor that they made 524,000 of in the course of 5 or 6 years. They were made from 48 to 52, so 48, 49, 50. 51, 52. So that's 5 years that they've made this tractor. But we're just pulling these logs out, and this log specifically here, this one was really wedged in the creek bottom. When the tree had fallen, that end was able to stick itself into the bank of the creek, and it was really super stuck in there. The water and the mud and stuff had put a pretty good hold onto it, and it was actually stuck in the ground. That doesn't include the water, so that's just the ground. It was stuck about 4 feet into the mud, and I am surprised this tractor was able to pull that thing out. The 2 rear tires of this tractor are filled with calcium, as far as I know, and this will be the next tractor I pull the tires and the tubes and all sorts of stuff out of in order to fill them with windshield washer fluid instead of calcium, because calcium is eating these rims even worse than the Alice's.
Yep, you're good.
But we also have a 5-foot
Do you have enough room on the chain?
No. We also have a 5-foot box plate on the back of this tractor, which adds even more weight, because this tractor can get stuck somewhat easily. It being a rear-wheel drive tractor.
Oh, you almost got her.
And the loader's out front. The front axle acts like a pivot or a teeter-totter, like on a seesaw.
Wow.
So you really got to have a lot of weight on the back of this tractor to do it, to do work with it. But so there goes that log, and see where the mud line is? That's how much it was stuck in the ground. Amazing. Just really something else. But going around this bend, that tractor had some problems.
Yeah, about 4 feet in the mud. Oh, and this is all broken off, so there's more down there. No, those are those 2 branches. The branches broke off. Yep.
A lot of this tree, I feel, is just good for firewood. There's a lot of pieces like this one where the center's rotted out, and the only thing that's good is the outside. So we're just pulling out now we're getting into the main trunk instead of a big branch. Boy, you wouldn't believe how heavy these logs are. Like I said, I think it's an ash tree, but the stump was 5 feet wide. I should have put a tape measure on it and measured it for you guys, but you can take my word for it. The stump was 5 feet wide. I don't know if it was two of the same tree that grew together, or they were, boy, it was one tree with two shoots coming out of it, which I think that's what it was.